always good in the YMCA. Hi guys, welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Juggernauts. I'm here at WrestlingJesus WJ. How's it going?
Alright! So last night we watched some smart wrestling there.
NXT, man! NXT, bruh!
Oh, you WWE fans, you say NXT is the best brand. Now you say it's developmental. No! I never said it's the best brand. Retards said that. Indie fans said that stuff, Jerry. AEW fans said that shit, that NXT was the best brand, Jerry. Smarks said that shit. Yeah. Regular, casual WWE fans don't give a fuck about NXT, Jerry. That's the thing there. All right, the only people taking claim of NXT being the best or whatever are a couple of indie goofs, Jerry, that don't want to praise the main roster. They say that NXT is the superior show. And when you watch NXT, you're going to get good wrestling, Jerry. You're going to get some wrestling moves and Canadian destroyers and flips and stuff. But the thing is, it's all a bunch of bums, Jerry. They're not ready yet for the top shows. They're midgets, Jerry. They're bums. Have I wasted enough time here, Jerry? We got African goggles in the chat. The Wrestling General and WrestlingJesus in the house, dog.
He's got the fucking he's got what you call him, Filthy Frank profile picture there. Papa Franco, like.
So basically, we watch, it's night one, Jerry. Basically, it's the cheaper card of the two shows, I guess. You got night one and night two. So this was night one. It's pretending that it's a show, Jerry, pretty much. Here's half a show. The big matches are on the other card there.
Mm-hmm.
So here's some indie-esque wrestling. You can pretend to like it there. You can pretend to be interested in Pete Dunne or whatever there.
Well, so I want to say this, right? I walked into this, right? And I was focused. This camera isn't even focusing. Focus. There we go. I walked into this and I seen the start of it. And it was this big, sexy woman with a what you call electric guitar there. She's playing the American national anthem there. Looked pretty. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good. The stage itself looks pretty good. They had a big skull thing and like on one of the entrance ramps. So the look of it looked pretty decent. Like they had the barriers and stuff. They had fans there, I think. I don't know if they were fans or they were stuck people or whatever, but they had them like round the side of it there. There was no Thunderdome for this one, but WJ, I had some I was promising at the start there when I seen that intro. I was like, oh, looks pretty decent so far. And then they had Pete Dunne versus an Asian guy dressed up as a guy from Back to the Future there, WJ. So Pete Dunne comes in and stuff like that.
Talking about Kushida, Jerry.
Kushida, he had it.
I'm seeing stuff online. Oh, Kushida and NXT. And it's stuff about how McMahon's going to hurt Kushida because, Jerry, Kushida comes from Japan. You got to pretend to love him. Because he's a Japanese man. Pretend to love him. Because I pretend I'm a Japanese wrestling fan. Oh, don't hurt him, McMahon. Oh, please don't hurt him, McMahon. There's a guy called Kushida. I never heard of you. Dave Meltzer says he likes you, so please don't hurt him, McMahon. And Who's Kushida? Jerry's a fucking midget, Jerry. All right. Let me tell you something, Jerry. Kushida, I'm on my knees there, and I'm taller than him, Jerry. He's about this tall. This Kushida. All right, Jerry, I keep hearing stuff about this guy, right? Kushida, blah, blah, blah. And I see a midget. Can he wrestle a little bit? Sure, but is this guy going to sell out the stadium? You're going to need binoculars to try to see him because he's too short, Jerry. I mean,
nah.
It's like an insect coming out, Jerry. You need a magnifying glass just to see this guy, Jerry. How are you going to sell out a stadium with a guy like this? We can't see the guy, and we're in the last row here. There's apparently a midget that just came out to wrestle. We can't see him there. He's too short there. But
it looked
apparently
like
you're supposed Charles the Ringmaster Ringy Kushida. Who the hell is that exactly there? Who the fuck is that? Why would I be interested in this guy there just because he's wrestled in Japan or whatever? I'm supposed to care. I was expecting a guy that looked like a wrestler when I heard Kushida. Like Nakamura, he's tall enough, I guess. He's skinny and kind of homoerotic a little bit there, but he still looks like
as well.
He looks like a wrestler, at least a little bit there. Well, he doesn't look like real wrestlers from the past, but the Kushida guy is half the size of Nakamura. Like, where do you go with this? Like, just because he can run and do a German suplex and do some knee strikes, they all fucking do that. Like, why would somebody actually sit on the computer acting like they're legit worried that McMahon is going to hurt Kushida? Like, yeah, these new age wrestling fans, they're so fucking autistic and weird there, but also they go too deep. They go way too fucking deep with this shit. McMahon's gonna hurt Kushida. And they're telling this probably to their mothers in real life and their aunts and uncle. McMahon gonna hurt Kushida, mommy. It's okay, son. Relax. Go back to the basement. Tom, grab his leash. We gotta put the choke collar on him and bring him back downstairs. He's ranting and raving about wrestling again. I gotta save Kushida. Who is he? Who's this Kushida you speak of? I don't know him. I seen a clip on YouTube or on Twitter about him, but Meltzer likes him and other guys say he's cool. So I gotta stand up for him, and I gotta fight for him against the evil McMahon. Like, get a fucking life there. But this is pathetic. He's just another fucking midget. Like, I was hearing the hype about this guy. He's just a little midget. He looked like Orange Cassidy with his jeans there.
Yeah, didn't he?
He was shorter than him. He looked like a shorter version of Orange Cassidy. So where's the money going to come with this guy? Like,
I thought he was a star kid because he walked in a cosplay like from Back to the Future, and he went on the turnbuckle going like this here, like I'm like, what is this like?
Is that all they can do? The Japanese, they're bland as fuck in the ring and stuff. And then they have to imitate other people's stuff, like dress up like fucking, like that girl on AEW that dressed up like Freddie Mercury or whatever. Is that what they can do? Is that a gimmick now? Just come out and somebody's going to come out. He's dressed like the singer of Kiss next week or something. It's Wing Bland. He's very good. He's used to wrestle Kushida, and he comes out dressed like Elvis or whatever. It's 4 foot tall. There's nothing impressive about him, but we're supposed to mark out. Give me a fucking break there.
Oh, God. Right.
Like the match was okay, I guess, there, but
Pete Dunne, right? I need to talk about Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is a guy that I can see on the main roster in the mid card. I can't the thing is that Pete Dunne is very. I think he's decent in the ring. And if you're gonna compare him to other people in NXT, he's actually somewhat decent. My only issue with him is, and I said this off air, is his face. I don't know, what is going on with his face or anything like that, but it's like this.
Pete Dunne, it's like when you watch it, Pete Dunne,
like a stroke. He's like having a stroke walking to the ring and out there. I'm British, mate. I'm British, WJ.
So you watch a Pete Dunne match, it's 30 minutes of weird stuff with his mouth and fucking hand manipulation stuff.
Yeah,
here, let me show you exactly what fucking Pete Dunne is, Jerry. I'll show you right now what Pete Dunne is. Here your fingers, right? Let me manipulate your fingers for 25 minutes, right? With his fucking mouth guard shit. That's all it is. 20 minutes, 30 minutes of shit like this, you know what I mean? It's just the finger all the time. Fuck, finger this, finger that.
Man, I could.
The finger for you, you second ass. But that's what it is. It's just him and his fucking weird mouth all the time. Fuck. We talked about this in the group, the weird mouths of the British people, Jerry. There's a fine example right there of that.
All right. And then the whole finger thing, he's going for the index finger there. I'm like, I don't want to hear this.
Get over it, fuck.
It's like, look at the way he twists the finger. It's like, is he gonna, it's so terrible. He's good in the ring. See when he doesn't do the facial expressions and the finger stuff? What if they get rid of that, he's a decent mid-carder at best.
He's short, but he looks like a wrestler. He looks young. He looks like he's only 19 years old kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when he gets older and he has a bit more, character in the face. He has enough character in his mouth, though, I guess, to make up for this there, but...
And his hair as well, it's all long to one side. And
he looks like a fucking teenager in England or whatever there. Maybe when he gets a bit older. So maybe he's going to change his look a bit and be a bit more presentable there. But he looks like a wrestler at least. He's a good wrestler, but I think he goes a bit too far with the finger manipulation there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And the amount of times they said finger in this match, I thought I was watching Pornhub, WJ. The amount of times they were saying this.
Reese Humphreys, what's the point of twisting fingers when his finisher doesn't involve the finger? It's literally just filler. That's true. I said that before about Arn Anderson working the arm the whole match, and it ends with a spine buster. That's all it is, working the finger all that time. You know what I mean? It's just wasting time there. Fuck.
Well, it's fucking... the thing is that the suit... there wasn't really that many suplexes in this match either. There was 4 or 5 or 6 that I counted, because I counted it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was 5 or 6 or 7 suplexes in this match, but the whole thing was this holds. Oh, he's a submission expert, right? But they were presenting this that'll be the star kid, the other guy, with the blue jeans or whatever. They were presented as if he was a submission expert. But if he's a submission expert, why does he look like he just came out of the dollar store? You know what I mean? If he's a submission expert, then present him as a submission expert.
Because it's another guy overhyped on the internet, and Triple H is going to push him. Triple H always seems to get the wrestlers that the Smarks want and stuff, and he tries to present them the way the Smarks talk about them online. But the thing is, the Smarks and indie fans, they're not in touch with reality. Like you can praise this Kushida guy. He won the whatever Japanese belt, light heavyweight belt of whatever company, but like he's a fucking 4 foot tall midget. Like,
yeah, he doesn't.
you have this guy doing a submission move. Nobody's gonna care about this. Nobody cares. You need guys that look like stars. They need real people now. I understand they cut out the steroids, so they have less guys that look like stars, but
well, Pete Dunne actually jacked up a bit. Like, he was quite skinny fat at the start, but then he started, like, you know...
Well, he had a chance to stay home for a while during the pandemic, so no test being done probably there.
Well, the thing is, I think they need to change that whole fucking spandex thing they got going on for him. I think they need to give him a
look.
The singlet look doesn't look right for him because he looks like a child, like, you know what I mean? Like he looks like a grown ass man in like a baby's diaper, like, you know what I mean? And the face, I can't get past the face, WJ. The face is just too much. Absolutely.
Maybe it's the mouth guard stuff. It's distracting, you know.
Well, it's just like when he walked down the ring, he was like doing this. Like this here, and your woman, what you call her? I called him Rectum Ripley. She does the same thing. I don't know where this whole fad has started with WWE by doing this face with your jaw.
The tough British face, the Sid Vicious face. Yeah,
it's like that.
Coke John, Coke John. What?
MJF's mole. You seen this, WJ?
Coke John. That's a good account, but
that's a good account there. Atomic Pigeon is yet to reveal himself yet, but yeah, I just like Pink Dunne's a good wrestler, but stop the fingers, stop the fucking jaw swinging, and change your entire, and then he'll be decent enough. I think he can be presentable as like a higher mid-card guy, if that makes sense. But my worry is that when he goes to the main roster, everyone's going to be like, give him the championship right away, WJ. Give him the championship now. And that's my
these wrestlers need time to develop. Back in the day, it took guys fucking 10 years before they became world champ. You know what I mean? It takes a long time. These guys, they think because a guy is in the mid-card, they think if an NXT guy doesn't become world champ right away that he's being buried and stuff. First of all, when they get on the main roster, they're rookies. They're just starting out there. You don't take a brand new rookie, make him champ, and just move on to the next fad. That's what these guys want, basically. They just want to jump on the fad. They want the SJW, a new guy to the top there, you know, but like these wrestlers need to develop. They need to be in the mid-card. They need to have experience. It's not just a move set. It takes years to fucking build up a guy and give him a fucking character and, you know, like they need to become credible as a wrestler before he becomes world champ. Like it's fake and stuff, but you still need to present him like he's a world champ caliber guy. You can't just grab Pete Dunne and give him the belt in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make sense. They have to fucking develop these guys first. It takes a while. Bret Hart and Michaels took years before they became world champ. A lot of guys, it takes a long time to become champ.
Yeah, because a lot of these guys now, they're in their 30s or 40s, and then they eventually go for world championship. It's very rare that you see someone in their 20s. Like Pete Dunne, apparently he's 25, 26. But like to actually be in professional wrestling, you have to start like 10. And that's the problem with these other guys in AEW. They were given advice and stuff like that about actual wrestling and how it's supposed to be and how it's presented. But some of these wrestlers just went, I'll just do my own thing. And now wrestling isn't even wrestling anymore. Like there's no suplexes or, good grapples. It's just kicks and punches. And
so before there was more attention to detail. Like they would grab each other in the suplex. They would make it look like it's happening for real, right? There's facial expression. It looks like you're forcing him into the move, and they would present it to look more real. Now a suplex, you just grab, suplex, run, and set up some kind of dive. But back in the day, they would put more expression into everything, and it would look more credible.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just fucking little guys just doing one spot to the next with no real selling kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. We'll go on to the next one here, right? Speaking of Jobberfest, right? I just want to say this straight off the bat. There's one guy in the match I actually like, and I'll get to him in a second. But there's these two anorexic fellas walk in, right? And it's the Gauntlet match or whatever the fuck. These two lads need a good meal, WJ. Get them some spuds, get them some steak. They actually generally look sick looking. I don't know their names, but they were like anorexic, like 100 pounds. These two fellas was. One of the guys in particular looked proper anorexic, WJ. Wasn't even that much muscle to him. He just had like 3% body fat, and he looked like a skeleton. It looked like Skeletor wrestling. I'll see if I can get their names here. Give me a second here, WJ. I'll get their wee names here. Let's see. It doesn't even say their name. Ali Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff. It's a great fucking name. Not a bit of meat on them, WJ. Not a bit of meat on them at all.
When I saw this, I kind of started losing interest in the show when I saw these two midgets come out there. I thought, is that the Leo Rush guy, the little skinny guy? I thought, is that Leo Rush? Oh no, he's in Ring of Honor or something now. I don't know.
They look really like sick. Like they look actually sick looking. Like not even like, whenever someone's slimmed down and they're jacked, right? Like, that's okay. But like these guys didn't really have that much muscle, and it was just sickly looking. Like one of the guys that I don't know who he was, but when he was flipping like this, I was worried in case he was going to break in the glass, WJ, off the barrier. And I'm like, how is this guy even on NXT? He's like, I remember like Wade Barrett was like, oh, he's 110 pounds wet there. I'm like, fucking great putting him over, Wade. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like great putting him over. But these two are wrestling, and it's aggressive. So it is. It's aggressive. I just seen two Skeletors going at it.
How is NXT supposed to get viewership with guys like this? Like, you know what I mean? It's not a big fucking accomplishment to beat the show with people like this on it. A bunch of nobodies. Fuck.
And there's this narrative that Triple H is like the best booker of all time, right? And I know Triple H is in charge of NXT, but what the fuck is he doing thinking putting these two these two Skeletors on here? Like, you know what I mean? Like when it gets to a point where your fans are more in better health than your wrestlers, then there's something going on. Like,
Triple H is catering to the indie fans, but the thing is, the indie fans hate WWE, so why even bother?
Exactly. Like, it's just, And the thing is, like, I looked at them too, and then I found out, I know why they're sick. But then some fat guy walked in, right? And this isn't even the guy that, like, like Mark Henry, for example. Mark Henry, big guy, but you could tell is jacked. Big big guy, you can tell he's jacked. I go on and on and on. This guy was just fat. Like, he was just obese. He was just an obese man, WJ.
And this guy fucking won the match too, right?
This guy won. This guy was one happy meal away from having a cardiac arrest, WJ, okay? He could barely run to the ring. He's waddling in like this. He's throwing these guys about. And then they have the anorexic guy fighting this big fat guy at the end of the match. And the guy was like beating up the fat man. And it was just completely ridiculous. Like, this is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, this is my introduction to NXT, because some of the guys that I seen on there weren't on the NXT show I seen before, which was god awful. But this fat guy walks in, and here's the thing, WJ. There's a guy who came in. Oh yeah, the cowboy from the YMCA walked in. Okay, the gamer. What you call him again? Gamer. Something, of course, Gamer Grimes.
Cameron Grimes. He was in TNA. He looked better in TNA than other guys, but like in TNA, it was a bunch of jobbers there.
Yeah,
but he's okay. But I don't know why they gave him a cowboy gimmick or whatever there.
Well, his gimmick is that he bought. So I watched the show where his character was born. So the gimmick is that he bought stock on GameStop, and because he bought stock on GameStop, he's now a millionaire.
Oh, and that's why he was paying people in the match. So basically, $1 Million Man mixed with shitty video game storyline.
Yeah,
so
much.
Stupid indie shit kind of deal. Why is Triple H putting dumb indie gimmick on his show now?
I don't know.
No wonder they don't get rating. This stuff was done by $1 Million Man. You can't just grab a midget and try to reproduce that and then do it with a game storyline. But there's the Dexter Loomis guy you thought was impressive. He at least looks like a wrestler. That's the guy with the mustache with the crazy face or whatever. He was in TNA and he was like some kind of stalker guy there. Well, he stood out in TNA because he was big and he was good at playing the role of a psychopath a little bit.
Yeah, so, So, just off the point, I agree. Keith Lee is not fat. Like, he actually, unlike this fat guy walking in, Keith Lee is somewhat presentable as a wrestler. But going back to this guy Dexter, he looks like a wrestler. He actually did suplexes. Actually did wrestling stuff with the time that he had. Actually, already came across what his character was in a few seconds. And that's what a wrestler does. A wrestler, within a few seconds, you can tell, so he's that guy. That's what a wrestler's supposed to be, okay?
So he's like nuts kind of deal.
Exactly. And he's a good actor.
He portrays it well that he's a crazy guy, the face. Yeah. I haven't seen much. I don't know if he's what kind of gimmick or what the promos are like, but like, visually, he looks fucking like creepy guy, tough guy in the nuts. You don't want to meet him in the back alley, let's say in the dark or whatever, because he might fucking jump on you and start eating your flesh kind of look to him there.
Yeah, and that's what you want in a wrestler. That's what you want. Like, you want someone that, like, it's the thing with the Fiend. Like, the Fiend is creepy, but it's over the top a little bit. But with this guy Dexter, it's subtlety. He's not being a try-hard like creep or whatever, but he's presenting it that he is. And that's why I like him. I have to admit, I actually wanted this guy to win, but instead the fucking fat bastard won, WJ. Like, you know, what is this? And they eliminated the only guy that's decent out of the whole lot of them. And they eliminated him in some cheap-ass, like, roll-up pin thing or whatever. Like, come on, Triple H. Come on here, mate. Like, why are you hiring anorexic people and fat bastards when you got a guy like Dexter who looks like a legit fucking wrestler, Triple H? You fucking moron. I'm sick and tired of people actually defending this big-nosed fucking dickhead, WJ. I'm sick of people saying, oh, Triple H is an amazing booker or whatever, okay? It was an amazing booker. He would do something with NXT. But instead, he gets a fat bastard that fucking wins in the last match when you have a legit wrestler like Dexter who looks and is presented as an actual entertainment factor, and you do nothing with him. You don't do anything with him. So I'm sick, sore, and tired of this thing. And I'm not saying Triple H is a completely horrible booker or whatever it might be, but he's made a lot of mistakes when it's come to NXT. You know, apparently one of the guys, WJ, you know, the two anorexic guys, apparently one of them was a world champion at one point.
He was, I think it was North American champ.
North American.
I hate anti-smarks wrote that he won the belt. I think it was...
Was it North American? I tell you what he needs, WJ. He needs a good meal in him. That's what he needs, not a belt. Like, for God's sake, for the love of absolute God, like you got some. It annoyed me, and you got this guy, LA Knight. Sorry, WJ. You go ahead. I got.
Go ahead, yeah.
But this LA Knight guy, okay. A lot of people are telling me, oh, he's absolutely amazing. He's the best. He's just another MJF. I'm sorry, but this thing that LA Knight is amazing. He's a wannabe Rock. When he walked down the ring, he was a wannabe Rock. A Rock wannabe. A Rock wannabe.
Because like when he was in TNA, people said he was very good at promos, but he was the only guy there, right? He had his. I think he became TNA champ for a little bit. I could be wrong on that, but they were pushing him for a little while there. And like he was pretty much, like you said, a wannabe Rock, trying to talk like him, trying to make faces, trying to be funny. And I didn't really get it there. But, you know, now there's not that many people left, right? They brought in Bobby Roode. Now they're down to a guy like this. You know what I mean? So, but maybe they'll be able to do something with him there, but probably not. It's probably going to be like another Bobby Roode thing. They give him an entrance. He cuts a few promos, and then it's Midcard City there. But
I hate anti-smart. So Triple H made Leon Ruff champion, but not Dexter. Think about that. Like, so I look. I know Triple H. I don't know. There must be something going on behind the scenes in WWE that we don't know why. Because I know damn well Triple H watching this doesn't want this shit on TV. I know damn well he doesn't want this. So like, why is this happening? There has to be a reason. There just has to be a reason why he's booking these types of matches.
To pander, to try to get the indie fans to watch. And for a while they were watching. They were saying that NXT was better than the main roster. But then AEW came along and those fans just turned on NXT to support AEW, just like they turned on Ring of Honor or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, and the thing is that, like, you know, the match itself, like the Gauntlet match, like, I got bored until the Dexter guy showed up, and I was like, oh, actually, this guy's pretty decent. And then they just let the fat guy win. And it's just
a big slob, a big unknown slob wins.
He's someone that you see at Burger King, WJ. Like he like it's not. Like I'm not like I mean this when I say this. He looks like your average day person that you would see in the streets, that you would see outside of Chippy. Like how is this presentable? Like with Keith Lee, he looks muscular. He's got that look. He looks like a wrestler. Same as, but he's got that almost like that you know what you call him, Titus? What you call that guy? Somebody call your
Brodus
mama.
Clay.
Brodus Clay. He's got that like fat look, like Brodus Clay, but even more fatter. You know what I mean?
I don't think he's as tall as Brodus Clay. Maybe shorter than that.
I just can't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was watching. But anyway, I wrote in the notes, "Fatty wins." You got anything to say about that WJ, that gauntlet match, or anything like that?
Oh, then Johnny Gargano came out, and it's going to be the fat guy against Gargano tonight. I guess they're going to go for a midget versus fat kind of feel to it there.
Fuck me, like.
They're going to try to have a scientific match between the two.
And the Johnny Gargano guy isn't exactly the best either, like. You know what I mean? Like, he's not exactly the best on the mic. I seen some of his mic work when he was in the wheelchair in one of the NXT shows I seen, and he was stuttering over himself, WJ. Like, completely stuttering over himself. Like
another indie thing there.
I need to stop it. Like,
when he just came out, and the NXT fans were behind him, because most of those are indie fans, right? They went to see this stuff live, and he would come out, Johnny Wrestling. I guess this is something from the indies, Johnny Wrestling. The fans cheered Johnny Wrestling, but like in reality, most people don't know what this is there. It's like,
that's horrendous. Like, oh yeah, the next one, Ciampa versus Walter. What, you want to go first, WJ, on this?
Well, apparently this was a good match online. They were saying, first of all, like Ciampa, I didn't recognize him at first, who it was, and then I'm thinking, who's this 50-year-old guy going up for the fucking UK championship? I thought it was a UK wrestler that was 58 years old or something like this there. But he looks pretty old there, the Ciampa right now. Maybe fucking dyed the beard or something there. I get it. He had a neck thing, and he's one of Triple H's boys or whatever, but like, he looks like a 50-year-old in the park fucking doing exercise or something there. Like
a CrossFitter?
More like the Chinese guys doing this shit in the park there, like this Tai Chi. Looks like a 50-year-old doing Tai Chi in the park or something. He looks more like that than a wrestler, in my opinion there. Like, but it was him against Walter, and it was all about Walter's big chops. They were doing the chop stuff, and they were doing scientific wrestling, and then he won with the chop. Like, Walter gives him the chop in the chest, and he pinned him with the chop. I never seen a match end with a fucking chop. Like, is this New Japan I'm watching here, there? Because I'm used to seeing a match end with a real finish. I understand in Japan they do finishes with strikes like this, and indies are fucking wannabe Japanese. I understand this. But like, to me, it makes no sense a match ending with a chop. Like, I've never seen Ric Flair was the king of chops. I never seen a match of Flair end with a chop. You know what I mean? Smart skilled wrestling. Walter is king of pork chops, he wrote.
Who wrote this?
Smart skilled wrestling. He's got the face of it's still real to me, and the nail. But like, Like, I don't know why he does this. Like, why would they end with a chop? Like, I get it. He does a strong chop, but like, should the whole match revolve around this chop and then he takes the chop and it finishes him? Is this the new age Dave Meltzer storytelling or whatever? Oh, he told the story of trying to avoid his chop. I will give you my chop. I give you a chop. Like, and then the old guy, he's trying to avoid his chop for the whole match, and then he receives the chop and it's finished. Like, is this really where we're at in wrestling there? Such great storytelling with the chops. It's like, who fucking cares about this shit? Like, and it's like you were talking about Walter's physique.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Like
it wasn't a bad match. It was an okay match, but like this new age wrestling, it just isn't the same. Like 30 minutes of finger manipulation, then it's the fat German guy with his chop or whatever. Like, can I just get normal wrestling there? Just a guy that can talk on the mic and he has a match for a belt there? Does it have to be so fucking nerdy and lame, this whole thing? Like, I get it. His name is Walter. It's all written in all caps, the name. He wrestled in the Indies, the UK Indies or whatever there. The indie fans would talk about him in the comments and they would write his name in all caps or whatever. I get it there. But like, he's a big fat fucking guy. Like, he does a chop. Like, why am I impressed by this? Like, shouldn't this big guy go on the main roster by now? If he's a big guy, why isn't he on the main roster getting beat by Drew McIntyre there? Right? Bring this guy in. We've known each other in the UK, Walter. I know you. We know each other. When I was rebuilding myself in the Indies, Walter, you and I met. We met on the UK scene. And then Walter comes out with his fucking AJ Lee socks or whatever there. His big stomach. I will chop you. I will give you a chop. And then fucking Drew kicks him in the face and it's fucking over. 1, 2, 3 there. Just fucking get to that, because I don't know where this is gonna go. Like, because does it have to be so smarkish there that Walter doesn't go on the main card because he wants to stay home, so he stays in NXT UK or whatever? It's like, give me a fucking break there. Just have him come out and take the fucking job there. Have him job to Roman Reigns there and fucking then he can hit the bricks or whatever. He can fucking chop some ham and eggers and get a cheap pop from the crowd or whatever there. If he's good, bring him on the main show there.
Well, did you see what he did in the match, WJ? So in the match, right, they're in the outside, and this is how it's presented, that his chops are amazing. So the guy Ciampa's like on the announcer's table, and he does a chop right on the table, and half of the table breaks. Now, not the entire table, WJ, but the little plastic thing at the start, like, that always gets
broke, and they did like that because that was building up, Jerry. This was the big storytelling about his powerful chops, Jerry.
Judo chop, like, what a fucking fat bastard! Like,
his
I swear to God,
is so powerful it can break table, Jerry, and he finally got him with the big chop, and it was too much, Jerry.
What a terrible ending.
Tommaso Ciampa, he broke his neck, he came back, he fought through adversity, blah, 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 and you can't even get up from a chop. Give me a fucking break there.
Fucking terrible, like absolutely awful. And like I watched this, and do you know what happened, WJ? I thought something went wrong with my network because I seen the chop and then he pinned him, so I thought, oh, something must have skipped. So I rewind it as best I could. I'll get into that in a second because I had some technical issues myself about this shit WWE network. So I went back, rewatched it, and then see him chop him, and then he pinned him. Like, it was so anticlimactic. He didn't even, like, do a build-up. Like, you know, like a build-up where he was like, oh, like after, do you know, like JBL where he did the clothesline? Where he would, like, rev it up or something like that? This guy just went 1, 2, 3. And that was it. It's like, who's booking this, WJ? Like, who is booking this? I don't know.
He probably goes backstage with it. That's the hand that can chop the tables, and then he fucking wraps his chop hand around Shawn Michaels' cock backstage is probably what happens there.
I'm a sexy boy. Sexy boy.
Shawn Michaels gets the hand job from the big hand that can chop through the table or whatever.
He looks weird as well, like his high socks and his fat, like I seen his his
what
belly.
What is this
jiggling
with the AJ socks or whatever? AJ Lee sock. At one point, he was down on the ground there. He's down on the ground, and then he grabs him by the boots. Tommaso Ciampa's climbing up because he was beat up or whatever.
Oh, yes.
And then he just grabs his socks and he's pulling onto his sock. It's what the fuck am I watching here? Like, what is this shit? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man, fucking mental.
Like, what the fuck is this shit? You know?
I was like on as well. I was like, what the fuck's he at? Like I thought it was like a mistake or something, like a grab a leg or something like that. But he was like,
he's climbing up his boots and then he starts tugging on his socks. It's like, can we just have a match there? Like,
yeah.
Is this like a gay fucking sock video for the gays or something there? Just have a fucking normal match. You don't need to fucking pull on his socks and fucking do this weird shit with the chops or whatever. Just fucking wrestle there. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, who fucking wears socks like that? It's girls that dress up like that. Fuck. Why is he wearing women's socks, for God's sake? He's like 6'7". He's not in good physical shape, but why does he need fucking women's socks? What does this add to it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm awful. Just nitpicking, but it's just weird there. I don't know.
But to your point, it might seem small, but these small things add up, WJ. You know what I mean? Like the socks, the look and everything. Like, while some people might say, oh, you're nitpicking, but these little things add up. And as I said, these little hints, these little subtleties is what actually makes a match. You know what I mean? And as you said, with the socks, the presented and stuff, anyone else, if it was a casual fan or whatever it be, would look at this, see a fat guy in like women's socks, and you know, and see this fat guy with women's socks, see a chop, and pins him and wins. Could you imagine someone from the Attitude Era, a fan of the Attitude Era, was like, "Hey, I might check out NXT." Sees this guy in high socks. Like, could you imagine what happened? They fucking turn it off. What a complete joke.
Like, imagine Hogan being in the ring with knee-high socks. I can imagine, man. Brother. And Macho Man fucking climbing up his boots and fucking starts fucking grabbing his socks. Like, what is this? What am I watching here? Like, this isn't normal there. What?
He's got more rolls on him than a bakery, WJ. Like, I swear to God, like it was sagging. Like, he was. I seen him on like the turnbuckle, WJ. He was on top of the turnbuckle, and here was just sagging, like completely saggy. Like, you know, like I'm all good for big guys being in the ring, like Mark Henry, etc. But you're going very far when you have just fat men, WJ, just fat men in women's socks. That's all I'm saying. It's fat men. Like me even saying that, me actually saying that, fat men in socks. It doesn't sound like wrestling, but that is what we sing. That is what we sing. Completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous.
And he's fighting a fucking 50-year-old looking guy with a big gray beard. It's like, what the fuck? He smells like cabbage.
That's what he does. He smells like dirty potatoes, WJ, when I see him. Like, I was like, why? Like, people are like, oh yeah, did you hear Triple H? I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently Triple H has said this guy is the next Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar was physically impressive. See, he's big. He looks big, Walter, but like,
let me try and pull this up, actually, because I want to see if
Lesnar's a freak of nature physically and fucking, say, athletic, and he's fucking huge, like oversized fucking head and fucking giant arms. And this guy's tall, he's big, but he doesn't have the fucking the physique or fuck, you know. Like, it's like Sid Vicious without the muscle, like Sid Justice or whatever, Psycho Sid. Like, Psycho Sid was a big fucking, he sucked in the ring, but he looked impressive physically, like a big giant fucking freak of nature with the steroid muscles or whatever. This is like Psycho Sid with just short black hair and zero muscle definition. With women's socks, let's say, it's not the same, you know what I mean?
Oh my God, WJ, I'm actually watching what he said. So this is what Triple H said about Walter, okay? Triple H said that everyone wants to face Walter until he chops them, just like everyone had a plan for Tyson until they get punched in the mouth. He said Walter is a machine on a different level, and what he does, that's special in everything because he does it all so well, making the simplest things mean everything. Well, we got that with the Socks Hunter. That's created an aura and importance to who he is. Triple H said he's straight money. Are you on crack, Hunter?
He's a big guy. Like, if they present him well, he could maybe be something, but like, they have to bring him to the main roster at some point. Have him work out, fucking give him a couple dose before he joins the main roster. Have him develop a bit of fucking, have him show up looking jacked a bit. There, maybe he can do the midnight coke workouts with Triple H or whatever. There, Triple H and Stephanie, the midnight workouts. Maybe he can do a bit of that. Triple H, say, when are they going to bring him to the main roster? This guy, he's big, he's huge, he does the big chop. He's apparently a badass. Let's see what he can do on the main roster. Fuck.
Here, WJ, I'll show you.
Protect him.
This is what a real champion looks like here, WJ. I'll show you right here, WJ. This is what a real champion looks like here. Those high socks there, WJ. Look at the high socks there. I'm the NXT.
Like, since when does a champ wrestler dress like that? Why does he have to dress like that?
What is this?
Like, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, Steve Austin, The Rock, they all wore normal boots. They didn't come out dressed like AJ Lee, for fuck's sake.
He's money. Like, oh, Triple H, man. What have they done to him? Like, what have they done to Hunter? Like, give Jerry the belt.
So, like, Why does he have to dress like that? I don't understand, but like, he's a big guy. Maybe they could do something with him, like a big fucking guy from another country. You give him some wins and then he fights the champ or something there, but like, how long are they going to wait for it? Maybe they're waiting for him to get more muscle or something there. Triple H says it's because he wants to stay home, so. But he's got to man up at some point and show up on the main roster there. We'll see what he does.
What are they going to even do with Finn Balor? Like, what's the whole thing with Finn Balor? Like, is he's not going back to the main roster by the looks of it? Like,
maybe one day, but like, it looks like it was a failed experiment with that there.
Like, why did they give him the Universal title in the first place? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
because they thought he was going to be the next big thing, I guess. But then the problem, like, he had his look, he had the indie people backing him, the Smarks, he had the paint, the demon gimmick. But then the problem is he opened his mouth and he was as boring as paint drawing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a tough man, Jerry, or whatever, the way he talked.
I'm a tough man, mate. I'm a tough man with my socks, mate.
Super fucking bland.
Fuck, what, like,
maybe
you know what
Triple H should have gave him some nylons to wear to the ring. Maybe Finn Balor will come back wearing nylons to the ring.
Give him a top, like, cover that man up, like, my God, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it looks so bad. Like, as I said to you, like, even thinking about it, imagine a casual fan watching this, but I don't know, like, I mean, honestly, like, the match itself was hit and miss, but that ending was just awful.
Drew McIntyre's fat autistic cousin. Vince was the reason Walter was eliminated by McIntyre at Survivor Series. So, like, when Walter was there, he got eliminated fast, you know?
Look at that profile picture.
He was eliminated quick, Walter, and the Smarts were upset or whatever.
Triple H has to know, like, the whole, you know, Finn Balor experiment didn't work. You got all these indie guys coming in, it didn't work. Surely they know by now not to play into these idiots. You know what I mean? Like, surely you know not to play into these guys. Like, I don't know. There was a tag match, WJ. Apparently, I've had my fair share of tag matches, to be honest with you.
MSK won, Jerry. 2 nobodies or something.
Grizzled Young Veterans. That's an actual name. Grizzled Young Veterans.
2 plain guys.
Big plain Janes. Bunch of absolute indie jobbers. They all look the same. Like, they all look exactly the same. Faded haircuts. You know, that kind of skinny fat look. Disgusting. I didn't watch it. And the other one is the women's main event there, WJ. The main event there, Rachel Gongan, whatever the fuck her name is, apparently she won.
Rachel Gonzalez.
And then you got and you got fans cracking up that apparently, they're gonna bury Low, whatever the fuck her name is.
Yo Shirai, yeah.
Hello, Shirai, gotta love her too. Like, you know what I mean? They're apparently kicking off. Apparently that she's gonna be buried.
Can they just put the belt on a hot blonde woman on NXT there?
Tony Storm, what you call her? What you call that girl?
There's a couple of hot blondes on NXT. Is it a crime that a hot blonde, just a hot normal woman can win the belt, or does it always have to be like fucking either Asian or fucking a giant woman like this Rachel Gonzalez, or it's fucking Shayna Baszler? Like, can they just give the belt to somebody that's gonna make money there? You know what I mean? But like, apparently, it's Io Shirai. She's a big star, Jerry, according to the Smarks and the indie fans or whatever. So I don't know if they're gonna bring Io Shirai to the main roster or whatever there, but
if you want people to watch women's wrestling, okay, cater in to what they want women wrestling. That's totally fine, but at least have, like, let's be honest, like, a lot of the reason why a lot of the ratings went up for women 10 years ago and stuff is because you had dirty old men flicking through the channels and then they see two women wrestle. Okay, that's the reason being. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with a woman that can wrestle. I encourage it because that was one of my criticisms even back in the day. But the thing is that they have this weird, gigantic fetish. This weird kind of, giant women that they want constantly now. And they're just constantly winning. There's a girl on there who lost on a pre-show. Toni Storm, very good looking, can actually wrestle. Very good looking girl. You got, what'd you call her? Scarlett. What'd you call her? Scarlett. I can't even pronounce it. I think it's a French Canadian name. WJ.
Well, it could be a Cajun thing there. Scarlett Bordeaux or something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how they pronounce it in English.
She's really good looking. Like, she's really good looking. She can actually wrestle. Have her on. Like, why is she not on here? You know what I mean? Like, is she on in the next show or what? I don't know. Like, is she on the next NXT show or what?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Like,
hopefully,
like maybe the Rachel Gonzalez girl is going to be good or whatever. I don't know. But like, it seems like just like AEW, it's like it always has to be an Asian woman or like something like this. You know what I mean? Shayna Baszler. Then you had the wannabe Asuka there, the black girl that was dressing up like Asuka with the colors. I don't remember her name right now there. No. Can we get just a hottie like Toni Storm to win the belt, or is that too much to ask there? Is that a crime now? You have to it has to be a Japanese smart woman or somebody with in-ring work that's bland as a piece of fucking toast or whatever. Can we just get like a good-looking woman that people might care about a little bit, or is that a crime now to want this? You know what I mean?
I like this comment.
So, like, these girls have good bodies. People are going to care about these girls. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Like Rachel Gonzalez's friend, she's a little bit cute. Her face is a little weird, a little bit, but she has a good body there.
Yeah.
Like, people are interested in women with good bodies, too. You know what I mean?
It's not a crime. Like, a lot of women watch wrestling. A lot of women that watch WWE, and I know women that watch wrestling, and they watch it because they like the good-looking men. So
Dakota Kai, she's got a good body, Dakota Kai. Why can't Dakota Kai win the belt? Fuck. Not that I give a shit about her there, but she's got a good body, Jerry. There's a lot of them on that show with a good body.
Like,
but
I don't know, like,
I don't know why it has to always be Japanese or in-ring work bullshit or whatever there. We got black hats in the chat. AEW is a failure like TNA. I hate anti-smarks. Toni Storm wears the same socks that Walter does. Exactly. It's women that wear those socks. The black tall socks with the white line. That's a girl thing. there's a bunch of sluts on Twitter that wear that kind of sock or whatever.
Yeah.
Why is Walter wearing woman socks? Like, there's a couple of women wrestlers that had that look. Like, why? I don't know. Dakota Kai kind of looks like Bailey. She's not like, she doesn't have like a fucking super good face. She's not ugly, but she has a good physique to her there.
Cobra Kai there, WJ? Is that like Dakota Kai?
Dakota Kai, Cobra Kai, yeah.
Apparently this Gonzalez girl is 6 foot tall and she's bigger than half of the men on the roster.
So why does it have to be just that there on that show? Like, Shayna Baszler was already the fucking man champion before there. Can they put the belt on the woman there? Like, I get Nikki Bella did the sock look, right? The black sock with the white line. It's all women wrestler that had that look. The one that was recently fired from WWE because she wanted to make money on her cheap fucking Twitch streams or whatever. The girl that was talking about unions and stuff. She wore that, I think.
Oh yeah, her.
So why is Walter dressed like that? Makes no sense.
Whatever happened to her? Did she in AEW or what? Or what's going on with her?
No, I don't think so.
If
she goes in AEW, Zelina Vega, she dressed like that. So, like, it might be nitpicking, but when they have 10 girls dressed with a certain look on the show, and then the guy dresses like that, it's like, what's next there? Is he going to come out in the bra and panties next week, or what? What's this?
He just looks weird, man. Like, I couldn't get past it watching him. Like, people were saying that he's amazing. Like, people were actually saying, and I'm sure he's all right in the ring, but it's, again, like, just because you're semi-decent in the ring doesn't make you an automatic world champion. It's the look, it's the promo, it's the facial expressions, it's the entrance music, it's the entire package. Like, you've seen the term that like JR uses it, the entire package. He's got the package there. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the entire package. That is what a wrestler should be. But, like, the thing is with these wrestlers is that the people like Dexter, etc., the guys that look like wrestlers are getting buried. Like, I love the fact that all of these NXT guys are talking about all the Asian women and Walter is getting buried and all. But they're not talking about the people that are actually decent. And that's the whole double standard about this.
Because it's not cool to want a hot girl to win. You have to act like McMahon is racist and he doesn't want to push the Japanese, even though all the Japanese women become champ right away, right?
Yeah.
Asuka was champ. Her friend won the belt, the one that quit. Asuka and her friend became women's tag team champ. Io Shirai won. All the black girls on NXT become champ. The one with the hair is fighting for the belt. Like, but they always have to say that McMahon is a super villain again. So, they can't just get behind a white girl and push a white girl because that's not trendy enough, right? You gotta act like you're fighting for a cause now on Twitter, you know what I mean? So they get behind basically other race, which is okay. But like, you have to push a bit of white people too there. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
If they're the most popular ones making money, you got to push a couple of whites and not just push Japanese only. Like,
I don't get this whole thing that people are saying that WWE's racist when majority of their champions are either mixed race or like they're either Latina, they're black. Like, you know, I don't get this whole thing that it's racist. Because like, you know, you like all this talk of all like WWE is against African Americans. Bobby Lashley's world champion. You know what I mean? Like you had Kofi Kingston as world champion. You know, you have like what they're doing with Big E. He's like an intercontinental champion. So I don't get this whole thing that like it like, you know. Here's the thing with me: there's nothing wrong with having all like various different people in there, but like if you're putting people in as a champion for the sake of being a champion, that's where the issue can be.
So, like, if you look at back in time when you had Hogan as the champ drawing all that money, Hogan was a big star. He was transcending pop culture and everything. Would it have made sense to take Hogan down and give Junkyard Dog the top spot? It wouldn't have made sense because Hogan was making too much money. You know what I mean? Andre the Giant became champ because he was a fucking phenom or whatever. Macho Man became champ because he was very good. Right, but there was a ton of guys who didn't get a chance to become champ back then because Hogan was too good, making too much money. And then after this, it was Bret Hart and Michaels, and then it was Austin, and then The Rock. Right, The Rock was a real star. He was a half black, and he won. But apparently it doesn't count or whatever because The Rock doesn't.
Booker T's another example of someone who's done well. You know,
but it took a while before you had somebody of The Rock's caliber that could win the big belt. You know what I mean? Were they supposed, when Steve Austin was champ, were they supposed to put Ron Simmons as the champ? Or, you know what I mean?
What, I think he was a champion at one point
in WCW for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
But like, if you have Steve Austin as champ, you're not gonna put fucking Funaki as champion. You know what I mean? You have to go with what you got. And if you have a big fucking money maker like Stone Cold, then Stone Cold's gonna be the champ. You know what I mean? If The Undertaker was black and he would have made the money that he made, then Undertaker would have been maybe the first black champ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because they didn't win the belts right away doesn't mean they were racist. It's because they had guys at the top making a shit ton of money, and there wasn't other black guys at the time that could have matched that. So why would McMahon take down Steve Austin and Hogan and Bret and people like this and just stick a random black guy and lose a bunch of money? Why would he have done that? It's stupid. You know what I mean? But now you don't have a big ass fucking star making money. You know what I mean? So other guys are getting pushed. More guys are getting chances. And like Rock was he's a half black. Austin was a big star. Rock was able to transcend that and still win the world title. You know what I mean? They pushed a lot of people of different race. You know what I mean? But people have to say McMahon is racist because it fits the narrative more. We're going to rally behind this guy because McMahon is racist. And AEW makes this myth grow even more. Oh, we're all inclusive here. This isn't a racist company over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all their champs are white. Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. It's like all their champions are. Let me look. Let me take a wee look. I'm actually glad. I never even thought of that. AEW champions.
All their champs are white in AEW.
Where's their shitty website?
So Iron Sheik, he was a different race and he won the belt, fuck. But then Hogan came along, so Hogan took over, right? Hogan was a juggernaut, fucking major star in the making there. So they're not going to say, well, let's keep the belt on the Sheik for an extra 5 years. No, they had to fucking go with what was making money, fuck. You know what I mean?
Oh, look at this here, right? Look at that. So what's all this about? AEW's all inclusive.
Kushida is a Japanese.
Yeah, but then you got the but look at this. Like, this is crazy to me. He's like the co-owner, and so was them too. Like,
really?
how look. This is equivalent to, like, you're seeing, like, those E-feds where, like, the fucking owner wins everything. This is what this is equivalent to. You got Darby Allin, who's best buds with them. You got Kenny Omega, who's the goddamn owner. You got the Young Bucks that are stake owners. You know what I mean? Like, just like...
Then you have the heroic Cody Rhodes that... he can't fight for the belt. He's not a Jeff Jarrett. Give me a
But he had the fucking belt for ages. He had the TNT championship for ages. And
every time he fucking goes on TV, it's always a big fucking attempt to make himself look like a star. And every week he fights a fucking pure jobber and tries to make himself look like a star. It's a big joke.
You know what we should do, WJ? We should do an AEW version of all these here people, like, and talk about them. We should do like a roster thing at some point. There's not even that many people there, like.
Let's do it right now, Jerry.
Great, all right. Might as well. I'll clip it and make a video.
Of time. Let's end the stream here. And we're going to start a new one about AEW there, so.
All right, so you folks are in for a treat. We got a double video today. So as soon as we do this, we're going to talk about the AEW roster, okay? And we're going to do that. So I want to thank you all. We'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes, all right? WJ, on a sign us out there.
Until next time, peace.